Alright. I'm going to try to make a mark where I need to work. Let's try to keep this guy right in there, in between the dots. Cleaning legs. And I will try not to get right in your way. Kind of see what I'm doing. Oh boy. This is that R1 that we just did. And I'm sure I'm going to be right in your way, but I can't help it. It's just the way it is. This thing isn't doing very much. Well, yeah, it's cleaning it pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. It's doing a decent job. Ooh, I don't like that. I tried something new. Sorry guys, I'm just going to be in the way. Boy, I don't like that leg at all. Boy, that leg is terrible. This fiberglass pen isn't very good. I think I got another one of these. Let me check. I believe I do. What do we got here? I do have another one. Let's see if it does a better job. This one's brand new. Oh goodness, yes. Oops. Oh yeah. Oh, this does a way better job. It's not even close. I kind of knocked a couple of these around a little bit. Yeah, this thing. Does a great job. This one does a way better job. I don't know if you're able to see. It's cleaning them up fairly well. Problem with these fiberglass pens is they don't last very long. They really don't. It's like this one cleaning is all I'm going to get out of this. Really effective. One effective cleaning. Yeah, buddy. Last one. Last one, and those other EPROMs are probably erased by now. And that's gonna do it. I'm gonna throw that one away. This one's got a little life left in it, I think, but not much. These really don't last long at all. This comes with a refill, but I don't know. They don't last very long. Pretty effective though. Really did a pretty good job. Okay guys, well, I'm gonna take care of those ROMs that are erasing, and then we'll be back to put these EPROMs in the board and see what we get. Okay, it's Tarnix time. Remember, our CPU is silver legged. It's got tarnish on it. It seems like there was something else I wanted to do. I don't know. Put it in there. And guys, I've had the same bottle of Tarnix for about a year. At least a year. I always just reuse it. Just pour it in here. It doesn't matter if it's a little dirty. It doesn't matter. I always just pour it right back in the bottle. Let that work its magic, and you know what I can do? It stinks. I'll tell you that much right now. It stinks. But I will take this board here. Whoa. And I'm going to kind of dabble Tarnix. Boy, this thing sucks. Look at that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this. Trim it up. See if I can't make it a little bit nicer. Well, it's like giving this thing a haircut. Okay, just took these scissors here. Gave this guy right here a little haircut. This guy. Yeah. Well, that's really starting to sparkle. Shining right up nice and silver. I'm going to take these and just kind of do this. Just kind of dabble it in there. Just get that Tarnix to just kind of seep in there, that's all. Into these gold legs. And we'll come up here. I already did that guy. We'll do this guy up here. Might not need to replace these. I don't know yet. And the silver one, the only way I'll need to replace the CPU one, the only way I'll have to replace that is if I have to use the fluke. Because that's going to be silver leg on gold contact. That'll be really nice. Oh yeah, it's looking super clean. Yeah, just let that Tarnix do its thing. It only takes it a handful of minutes. Next thing I'm going to do is I don't like leaving the Tarnix on there, so I'm going to wash the board. But I want that Tarnix to really do its thing in here. I'm not skimping, you know, just brush it in there, let it really clean up those legs, those contacts. You really want to polish up them contacts. This stuff works wonders. I mean, they're just shining. Okay. I don't know if you can see that guy. dirty Tarnix. It doesn't matter. Alright, I need to rinse this. I need to wash the board. I'm going to wash the board. You know, I'm going to go ahead and give it a full wash. Clean, wash this guy off. I like to wash the Tarnix away. I don't like leaving it on. You know, because it's a chemical. I don't like leaving chemicals on stuff. So, I'm going to wash it all off. And come back when it's all dried up. Good to go. Okay. Okay, I got this board cleaned up and dried off. And it came out beautifully. It's absolutely gorgeous. Clean. Heck yeah. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and populate everything. This is the pokey. The pot and key chip. Here is my cleaned CPU. Yeah. I don't like that. I mean, you gotta go in there, right? I don't like that. There we go. Okay. MN1. R1. H1. F1. NP1. E1. D1. And JK1. LM1. KL1. This will be R3. Make sure all the notches are in the right way. Make sure all of the chips are in good. Okay. Everything is in. Now, everything is notched proper. Oh, let's plug it in. Let's see what happens. Go ahead and back this guy up. Try to give you a shot of the monitor. You know what? I'm going to bring him right over to the monitor. How's that? There you go. Monitor shot. I need to plug everything in. Monitor and the AR. What do you think? My guess is it's not going to work. Here we go. The LED is on. And it's not working. It's basically the same bunch of nothingness. Let's try test. Nothing. All right. We have an extremely clean board, but an extremely dead board. Clean and dead. So, I'm going to go back to my first assumption, and my first assumption is buffer drivers. I'm going to get the logic probe out, and I'm going to start probing around on this thing. You know, I'm going to probe around the buffer driver, the driver chips, the 244s. And I don't think there's a 245 on here, but there's a lot of 244s. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to probe around on the 244s. So let's set that all up and we can get into that. And by the way, I did want to just point out that this thing is sitting at 5.1 volts. So, and we got negative 5.10, I believe, and then like 11.7. So we are great on power. No power problems. We know our software is good. We don't know if this guy's good or not. I could always just pop a good working 6502 in here, and you know, which I think let's go ahead and do that. You know, just to eliminate that right off the bat. So I'm gonna power it down, set this down here. Okay, let's remove this guy. And it'd be a shame if that chip's no good. Come over here and grab a 6502. CPU. Okay, let's pop this guy in here. Okay, we have a nice new 6502 now in the board right there. So we'll fire it up. And it's still dead. Good. I don't want to lose that nice CPU right there after cleaning it up. Okay, so I'll take this out, pop that guy back in, and we'll start probing. This guy, that guy, this guy, this guy, that guy, that guy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 244s off the bat that I'm going to verify are working correctly. Okay, grab this logic probe, the logic probe. We will just be probing, simply probing. Hook to ground and hook to 5 volts. Right. Yeah, okay, fire it up. Alright. Reset pin is not resetting. Ooh. Oh boy, guys. We got no clocks, do we? Look here. Notice anything? Oh goodness. There we see. Whoa. Can I do this? You see something missing? Let me see if I can figure out what I'm doing here. Yeah. See that? Come on. Oh boy. I'm sorry, guys. See that? The crystal's missing. There's no clock. Turn it off. The crystal's busted. So before I do anything, I'm going to have to put a 10 megahertz crystal in this guy. So let's do that. And then see what happens. I bet you this thing works after that. Because we've got good software. We got the CPU. I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just go ahead and put a crystal in it. I do have 10 megahertz crystals, I hope. I know I bought some. I had this problem before. I do. I got lots. Lots of 10 megahertz crystals. So I remember last time I did a missile command, I didn't have any 10 megahertz crystals. And I bought some, and now I got lots. Right, Lulu? Okay, so get the old gun out. Get the old desoldering gun out. Plug it in. Solder. Cleaning. Get this up out of the way. I'll let this guy heat up for about 5 good minutes, and then I'll be back. Actually, while I wait for that to heat up, what I don't want is I don't want those pieces of leg that's in the board getting sucked up into that. So I'm going to grab those pieces of leg out of the board. I believe this was one of those. Yeah, it was one of them big old fat leg crystals. Okay. Those legs are out. And I bet you it's been heating up for about 2 minutes. I bet you it's good enough. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that's clear. Turn that guy off. Put this up. Get these legs out of here. Nice new low profile crystal. Give them a little bend. There we go. There, now we got a crystal. Put this stuff up. What do you think? Do you think it'll work? I mean, there's a darn good chance. Let's plug this in. Let me plug in the AR supply and everything else. I'm going to bring it back over. Back over to see the TV, or the TV. The Todd Tucky. The monitor. And I'm going to fire it up. Oh boy. And let's try test. Signs of life, guys. And out of test. Okay. And it just stays there. So let's bring this guy back over here. Let's bring it back over here. And down. Okay, now, original plan. Alright, it's kind of stuck doing this now. I'm going to turn it down. I don't want to hear that. So we've got our sign of life now. Okay, it's resetting. It's resetting, but it's not RAM failure. It's not ROM failure because the test would have told us if it was RAM. So these are your address buffers over here. So I'm going to start looking at them. Just playing around with these sockets and I'm getting different stuff over here. I don't know. .244. Let's look at the ends first. Okay. Okay. Yep. Now let's look at the outs. Okay, same here. Let's look at the ends first, starting with 2. There's nothing going on here. These sockets. It's the sockets. This is input from the sockets. This is an input bit, and I know this has got to be, this is probably the data buffer back. And this would be address, and probably one of these is address. This is in, and this is out. In, out, in, nothing, out, nothing, tri-stated. It's not enabled. This one is enabled. So what is this doing? 2. These are the inputs to this. Okay. Input. Input. Okay. Now the outs. Outs start at 3. Oh, those are hot. Okay, where was I? 3? That's an output. Okay. There's another one that's always enabled. So let's see what that's doing. Inputs first. Oh, that's not an input. Anyway, okay, now let's look at output starting at 3. All of the inputs were toggling. And this is a 244. Okay, everything's toggling okay there. Let's move over to this guy, and it is not always enabled, but it's pulsing. So we should be getting activity if we should be getting some activity. So we'll start with the ins. This is a 244. Okay, that's activity. We're just looking for activity. Right? Chirp, 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 chirp. Okay. Now let's look at the outputs, starting with 3. Okay, that all looks fine to me. 244, 244, 244. This one is not enabled at all. What is this? I think I'm going to have to break out the schematic. I think this is the data buffer. And I think it's the data back buffer for the ROM. See, these two ROMs go back through here. This buffer, I know that. And I think the rest of the ROMs use this guy. This guy is being enabled. This guy is not. Why? Why not? Now I know CPU's boot vector is in the at the very top of the range. So that's going to be these two guys. So it may be that this is not, it's not getting to the point to access this bank of ROM. It could be only trying to access these guys through this guy. And that's why this is enabled and this is not. So right now it's just a mystery. So we'll have to, but I'll tell you what I don't like though, is I can mess around with these sockets and get different see that? These sockets suck. They don't mix with these ROMs. They don't. It's just totally goofy. I'm gonna have to replace these sockets because I can't have this. These ROMs do not mix with these sockets. It's unfortunate that you have to replace them. If I had silver leg sockets like this guy, it'd be no problem. But these things just don't jive with these sockets. I'll bet you we replace, after I replace these sockets, I'll bet you that this thing works. I would bet $40 on it that if I replace every one of these sockets, it'll work. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace the ROM sockets. The ROM sockets only. I'm not going to mess with these two guys yet. But I am going to replace the ROM sockets. So. Yeah. Just turning it off and messing with it. Let's try. Yeah, don't do nothing. All I have to do is mess with these ROMs. Check it out now. See, that is exactly what was happening. And it's trying to access this ROM now, and it can't. It starts up here, accesses this guy, enables this guy, and then the code bounces down to here, so it enables this guy. You see, it's high, so this is a tri-stated device. So the outputs are all floating. You know, here's the outputs. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, or not 12, but 11, 13, 15, 17. Wait a second. No. No, these ROMs are not being accessed. These are tri-stated devices. So there's no inputs. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 13, 15, 17. But there's outputs because they're going, that's data, that's the data bus. So there's going to be output. But these are tri-stated, so the inputs to this chip are, tri-stated. Until I mess with one of these. Get it to start trying to do something. Yeah, now see, this is see, it's pulsing. That's ROM data. See, now it's not floating because it's being accessed. Yeah, see, I don't think there's anything wrong with the drivers. I think it's all these sockets. I'm going to turn it off, and the plan of attack is to replace all of these sockets, and then I'll bet you this thing works. So that's the plan of attack.